I'm at my indoor portable workstation here. I got my polyurethane mounts in, and I got the Holley Coyote swap for the stock K-member engine mounts in, which anybody needs the part number, it is that. So these mounts are supposed to, or I should say these mount adapters, are supposed to work with any stock 79 to 04 K-member. I bought these poly mounts on eBay used from MPS. Yeah, I know used, ridiculous, but they're on like eternal back order, and these things are mint, so I don't care. But these are the ones you have to buy because they have the bolts going through them. You're going to have to cut these and modify them, so I'm hoping to document that today by myself somehow. Hey! Hey! She doesn't listen. And so, got the old faithful out here to blow the nuts off of this thing. And then I'll open the instructions and go through with it. I am wearing my proper work shirt. I don't even know how this phone works, man. Sure. Nope, that's taking pictures. Alright, well, whatever. The instructions are comical, but it says again, prothane 6-504 red or black poly mounts. It says it also requires the use of the Holley oil pan, which I have on order, but it is on back order like everything else. Just a checklist for hardware. This is where it gets good. Disconnect the battery, discharge any residual fuel pressure, remove the stock driveshaft, transmission, and engine from the vehicle. Oh, okay. Like it's removing an air filter or some shit. You gotta pull a whole drivetrain out. Yeah, no problem. Lay the mounts out like so. And then I'm gonna blast these little girls off. We'll see what happens. Oh, I'm gonna need two hands. Oh. Yep. Gonna need a little wrench for the other side. Whatever. But it says I need to clamp the bottom plates in a vise and remove the threaded studs attached to them. Relax. So I'll have to save that for work because I don't have a vise here, unless I could do it with vice grips or some crap. Alright, whatever. I'll try and get a little more organized here and get this up, but I've unboxed these. They're heavy. I'd like to say they look nice, but I really don't know what they're supposed to look like, so whatever. Alright, so I'm going to mod these today. In the instructions, these are the welds. You can do two things. You can cut the stud flush with the top side here like so, or you can just grind these welds away and then punch the stud out, which is what I'm going to do, because if these mounts don't work, the Holley ones, then I'll get the stud welded back in and I'll reuse these for the like a UPRK or whatever route I end up going if this doesn't work. I labeled them P and D. It really doesn't matter because they're the same, but did it anyways. Gonna grind it with my brother-in-law's tool here. Thank you. With this baby, I'll just. That's it. Alright, so all I did was take the die grinder and just grind down right next to the bolt there, and I just whacked it with a hammer from the top side, like so. And that's it. She is free. I'll probably just grind that down flush just in case, but it took 2 seconds for once. End result from grinding them. Save the studs again for later just in case. But that's it. That's what it looks like. I'm going to spray can this just to put something on it. Alright, so I finished up the motor mounts. I know I didn't film it like every typical YouTube video. You know, it's just like, woo, it's done. Great. But I'll just go over it. These are the studs that are now going to go through the K-member to actually support it, whatever, bolt it to it. These go somewhere in the K. I just bolt them together so I don't lose the hardware. But supposedly there's a notch or a hole in the subframe. I'm just a little out of shape on the old Ks, but I'll use that hole, send the bolt through it, tighten it then, just like that. But as you can see, 4 nuts supplied with the kit, and then the 4 bolts. You have to slide, sorry, suck at this. You got to slide these in first, and then gently lower it down onto the actual mount itself, because as you can see, you can't get to those and get another bolt in there. So I did that. There's 4 of them on each side. This bracket is for, I believe, the driver's side, and it has this added piece on it, perch, so it slides in the K as well as a guide, and then you put the stud through and tighten the nut. Again, I tightened it just so I don't lose it, but this is basically it. That's how it looks on the Holley mount. I just have to tighten up these 4, and then once I seat this onto the K, I can tighten this because it's a little bit adjustable, and then I'll put the studs through and tighten it into the subframe once I pull the motor. So that'll be next week's project, or whatever, this weekend.